Hello everyone. So let us begin the today's topic. Our today's topic is neural control and coordination. In this topic we will study about nervous system. How does our nervous system help in control and coordination? So to understand this concept you should first know what does control mean and what does coordination mean. Control means to regulate. Control means to regulate, to look after. So in control, it is a system in which different body organs inside our body look after each other, regulate or control the working of each other. No organ can work alone, they are under control of each others or other organs. Next is coordination, where co means together and ordinate means to work. So coordination means to work together. So in this chapter we have to study about how do different organs inside our body regulate or control the working of each other, and how do they work together to perform some particular functions. Like we cannot survive if only one organ, even if one organ stops functioning, then also we cannot survive. Suppose if kidneys do not work, we cannot survive, and rest all our organs they are working, still we cannot survive, because different organs they work under each other's control and they work together. So this is control and coordination. This control and coordination inside our body is done by two systems. One is nervous system, which is also known as neural system, and another is chemical system. So control coordination inside our body is done by these systems, nervous system and chemical system, which is also known as endocrine system. But in this chapter chemical control coordination is not there, so we only have to study nervous system. So in this chapter we will study how does our nervous system help our body to control and coordinate the working of each other. So let us study in detail. To understand control and coordination in nervous system, with the help of nervous system, you must know what is neural system, what is nervous system. So let us study first the base of nervous system. What is the basic unit of nervous system? The basic unit of nervous system is neurons. What are neurons? These are the longest cells inside our body, and these cells are also known as nerve cells. So nerve cells are the basic functional and structural unit of human nervous system. So let us study in detail about neurons first. How does it look? Neuron looks like just this. It has three parts. The first star-shaped structure of neuron is known as cytosol or cell body, or you can also call it soma. What is this cytosol cell body soma? This star-like structure, and inside this it has cytoplasm, also a big nucleus and some fine granules. These granules are known as Nissle's granules, these granules, and then it gives rise to a long tail like structure. This long tail like structure of cytosol or neuron is known as axon. Then at the end it gives rise to long fibers. These elongated fibers are nerve endings. At the base of each nerve ending there is a small balloon like structure which is known as synaptic nerve, and at the front, at the beginning of the cytosol, there are small thread like structures. These small thread like structures are known as dendrites, and outside the axon a long tail like structure, it bears a protective cover. That protective cover is known as myelin sheath. This is an irregular covering around the axon, and do remember it is present around the axon and at the places where it is absent, like here and here. These places are called as nodes of Ranvier. And this I have drawn small bulging structure with the small dot inside it. These are known as Schwann cells. So this is about entire neuron. Now let us study the function of each part of neuron. First let us start with dendrites. The function of dendrites is to receive the message, to receive the impulse, to receive the stimulus. That message which is received from external or internal environment by the neurons, that message is actually known as a stimulus. So you should know what is a stimulus. Stimulus is any change in the external or internal environment, because there are two types of stimuli, external and internal stimuli. So external stimuli can be in the form of light, heat, touch, taste, smell and any sound. What else you receive with the help of your 5 sense organs, that is known as stimulus. So dendrites, they first receive stimuli with the help of 5 sense organ. So function of dendrites is basically to receive stimulus, and from the dendrite it passes on to cyton, and from the cyton it travels to axon. Function of the axon is to pass on the information from one neuron to another neuron, because another neuron lies just behind this neuron in the same way in linear fashion. So neurons are arranged like a chain, and this chain of neuron helps in transmission of stimuli in the form of electrical impulse. So repeating the functions, the function of dendrite is to receive the stimuli, or you can say message, and then axon, the function of axon is to transfer the message or the stimuli from one neuron to another neuron, and externally axon is covered by a protective cover, that is myelin sheath. Do remember, myelin sheath is also known as insulator cover. Why so? Because it acts as an insulator, it does not allow the loss of information during transmission into the external environment. So it prevents the loss of information, that is why myelin sheath is known as insulating cover. And nodes of Rendezvous, these are the places where myelin sheath is absent. So there are the chances that information can lose from these places, but it does not happen. Why so? Because information while travelling, when nodes of Rendezvous come, it travels by jumping. So information travels by jumping, and nodes of Rendezvous helps in speedy transmission of the information this way. And these are Schwann cells, these are the cells actually who form myelin sheath around the axon. So this was all about, we have studied function of dendrite, function of axon, function of myelin sheath, nodes of Rendezvous, and from axon information passes on to nerve ending, and at the end of nerve ending there are synaptic knobs. What are the functions of synaptic knob? Synaptic knob, they secrete a chemical inside them. That chemical which is produced by the synaptic knob is known as neurotransmitter. So you also know what are neurotransmitters now. Simple language, from the name itself only it is clear. Neuro is neuron, transmitter is the one who transfers, who transmits. So neurotransmitters are the chemicals which are released by the neurons, and they help in transmission of impulse, transmission of message from one neuron to another. Repeating, neurotransmitters are the chemicals. There are several types of neurotransmitters released by synaptic knob. These are produced by synaptic knob, and synaptic knob release these neurotransmitters into the gap between two neurons, and we already know that gap between two neurons is known as synapse. Synapse is also known as synaptic cleft. So neurotransmitters are the chemicals which are found at the synapse, and they help in easy transmission of the impulse or message from one neuron to another. So this is all we have studied about nervous system. And now the basic unit of nervous system. What is the basic unit? This neuron. Neuron is also known as nerve cell. So the neurons are arranged in such a way that they divide nervous system into two parts. So let us study the components of nervous system now. There are two components of nervous system. Our nervous system is divided into two parts, CNS and PNS. CNS stands for central nervous system, and PNS stands for peripheral nervous system. So central nervous system, which lies in the center of our body, and peripheral nervous system, it includes the nerves which arise from CNS itself. So you can say PNS is a part of CNS only, and neurons, they arrange in such a way that they form two types of nervous system, and detail of these two types will be taught to you in next video. Thank you.